Say, Amos, this seems like Sunday.
It is Sunday. You see, Andy, we is on the radio now every Sunday on CBS for Rinso.
That's right. Rinso, the new Rinso with Solium, brings you the Amos and Andy Show. Yes, sir. Rinso, the soap that contains Solium, the sunlight ingredient, brings you a full half hour of entertainment with Lou Lubin, Eddie Green, Jeff Alexander's orchestra and chorus, and radio's all-time favorites, Amos and Andy. And now, Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Rinso, invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy Amos and Andy. Well, the impossible has happened in the Stevens household. George Kingfish Stevens got a job. He's been working for a week now as a salesman in a local real estate office. Today is payday, and as he returns home, he is greeted by his wife, Satva.
Oh, George, this is the greatest thrill of my life. You bringing home a pay envelope.
Yeah, well, here it is. What is you going to do with it?
George, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to take this envelope, go down to the beauty parlor, and use what's in it to make myself attractive.
Well, now, wait a minute, honey. There's only money in there, not magic, you know. And besides that, don't you go squandering that money. We better hang on to this.
George, what you hinting at? Is you in trouble on that job already?
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is the bad time of the year for selling real estate.
George, I'm surprised you lasted this long. Before this, you never put in a full day's work in your life.
Well, now, wait a minute. Before you shoot off your mouth there, what about that job I had at the cement company? On my first day down at that cement plant, I was there for 12 long hours.
Yes, and the reason was because you fell asleep in some wet concrete, and it took them that long to chip you out.
Well, I got overtime, didn't I?
George Stevens, you're a disgrace. You done had 55 jobs in the last 2 years, and you've been fired off of every one of them.
Yeah, well, at least I ain't no quitter.
There ain't no point in arguing, George. I'm giving you an ultimatum.
A what?
An ultimatum.
Give it to me.
You better get busy on this real estate job and put over some deals, or I'm through with you.
Well, now, you wait a minute, honey.
Oh, I don't know why I ever married you, and to think that 20 years ago I was fool enough to throw myself at you.
Yeah, and to think I was fool enough not to duck, too.
Oh, come in, Kingfish.
Hiya there, Henry.
Say, there's a nasty rumor going around town that you was going to work.
Well, that's right, Henry. Hiya's working in the real estate office.
Well, tell me, Kingfish, did Sapphire force you to go to work, or did you take the job on account of your own violation?
Well, about 50-50, Henry, but at the rate I'm going, I don't think I'm going to keep the job much longer. I can't find no good houses to sell.
Well, you know, there was a couple of very nice ones up there on the Parkway. I believe the architecture was one of French colonial, and the other one was late gorgeous Georgian.
Well, that's the trouble, you see. All them houses is too expensive. If I'm going to sell something, I got to get something in the cheaper brackets. That's what I got to get.
Well, say, wait a minute, Kingfish. I just remembered an item I seen in the paper. The state has just condemned a number of houses out in the country to put in a new highway.
The state done condemned some houses on the highway?
Yes, they ain't in too good shape, so the state will give them to anybody that'll pay the cost of moving them.
The houses is free, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I could sell one of them to Andy and not tell him that he got to move it, why, everything I make would be clear profit there.
Yes, Kingfish, but Andy might not want to make the changeover from his room to a house, though.
Yeah, if I could tell him that his room and house has been sold, say, wait a minute. Say, you know, the United Nations has been buying up a lot of property in town. I'll just convince Andy the United Nations is moving uptown, and he has got to get out.
Yes, well, good luck, Kingfish. I got to go now and stop by the furrier's to get my wife Clara's fur coat out of the cold storage.
Oh, you put it in cold storage, huh?
Yes, it keeps things from deteriorating and falling apart. I've often wished I could put Clara in there for a couple of months.
on, I'll help you pack. You ain't got much time, son.
Kingfish, what are you talking about?
Andy, ain't you heard the big news? The United Nations has done bought this whole neighborhood. They is moving their whole UN headquarters up here. Lock, stock, and delegates.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, when did this happen?
Oh, it was announced on the wireless this morning by that famous English statesman, Churchill Downs. It was broadcast right from the steps of the British Kremlin. Yeah.
Oh, fool.
Yeah, and with people from all these nations moving up here, they is giving everybody 48 hours to move up.
48 hours. That's awful short notice, ain't it?
Well, it didn't give me that much. Me and Sapphire come home from a picture show last night and found 2 Bulgarians sleeping in our bed.
Yeah, well, how is all this going to affect me? I don't want to sleep with no Bulgarians, I'll tell you that.
How is it going to affect you?
Yeah.
And the 4 powers is dividing the whole area around here in 4 sections. And I see the blueprint of the plan. It's going to be just like Berlin, and the boundary line for the whole thing is going to run right through your room.
It is, huh?
Yeah. And by the time the UN gets through dividing up, your bathroom is going to be behind the Iron Curtain.
Well, that's bad, ain't it?
Yeah, well, might be a little inconvenient when you get up in the morning. You might have to show your passport before you can brush your teeth. Not only that, Andy, but on account of the Russians, they're going to have to fly your food in here by airlift, you know. You got to eat it.
Oh, me, this is a mess. But look, Kingfish, I still don't understand what this UN needs so much room for. What is this UN bunch trying to do anyway?
Well, the UN is trying to establish world peace, that's what. What do you think they've been fighting and squabbling for the past 4 years? Peace and brotherly love.
Yeah? Well, what about the Russians? Is they after peace, too?
Oh, the Russians is really after it, Andy. They are so determined to have peace that they is liable to shoot 10 or 20 million people just to get it. And the nutshell of the thing, Andy, is you better move out of this neighborhood.
Yeah, I was really in bad trouble, all right. Only thing is, if I got to get out of here, I don't know where I could move to.
Ha, 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 ha. Now, there's a funny thing that you should mention that, Andy. Maybe I can help you, brother. It just so happens that I being in the real estate business here, I just got a place for you that's for sale. A nice 6-room house for only $500.
$500? Listen, all over the country they're selling houses for $10,000 and $15,000. How come I get one at such a cheap price?
'Cause you ain't a veteran, Henry.
That helps, huh?
Oh, yeah. According to the real estate board, the word is out, give the cowards the breaks. That's what it says.
Well, I can't go wrong for no $500. I'll take the thing. And I'll go right down to the bank and get the $500 out of my savings account and meet you back here and we'll close the deal.
Okay, Andy, and I'll give you the deed to the house.
Yeah, listen, Kingfish, you think I'll be happy with this house?
Oh, Andy, you'll be in heaven, my boy. It's like being up on a cloud listening to the angels. And if you want to hear music, all you gotta say is,
I'm gonna play on the harp.
Just like little David. Play it pretty just like he did. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah.
Little David was a shepherd boy. He killed Goliath and shouted for joy.
Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp.
You know, there was a time when Blue Monday was really blue. But not anymore, not in the house where the John Lakes live. My wife says she enjoys Monday because that's when she gets all our wash whiter and brighter than new. She uses Rinso, of course, the only soap that contains a scientific sunlight ingredient, Solium. Yes, Rinso washed white clothes actually come whiter than new, and washable colors brighter than brand new. Now, would you like to see that happen to your sheets and pillowcases, your washable house dresses and your husband's shirts? Well, then, use new Rinso with Solium, even on rainy days, even when clothes are dried indoors. Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in your wash. Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to your hands. Try it, won't you? Soapy rich. New Rinso with Solium.
It's nice of you to drive me out here to look at my new house, Amos.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to do it, Andy, but tell me something, son. How come all of a sudden you was moving out of the apartment?
Oh, I couldn't stay there, Amos. You see, the Four Powers is going to revive up a Bulgarian in my bedroom.
Excuse me, Andy, I guess the motor's a little noisy here. I didn't get the drift of what you said there. How come you're moving again?
I had to get out of the neighborhood, Amos. You see, the Russians is going to iron some curtains.
Iron some curtains?
Yeah, and if that happens, they're going to have to feed me by airway.
Andy, I can't figure out what you...
Now, hold it. Here's my house. Turn in right here. Turn in. Ah, there's the place, Amos. What do you think of that?
Yeah, well, it ain't bad for the money, Andy. Say, who's that fella there on your front porch?
Now, wait a minute, I'll ask him. Say, mister, what is you doing on my porch?
Oh, is this your house?
Yeah.
Well, I'm from the highway department. I hope you've arranged to move the house off the property by Thursday.
Move the house?
Why, yes, the new highway goes right through here. Weren't you informed when you bought the place?
Amos, I think that kingfish done tricked me again, you know it?
Well, $500, that ain't a bad day's work. It ought to really make Sapphire happy. I better put it away, though. Here comes somebody down the hall. Come in, Shorty.
Hi, Kingfish. I just rushed over here to tell you something. I just so handy, and the thing is, if you don't, I mean, on account of, if I was you, well, don't tell nobody I told you.
Well, now, wait a minute, sir. Now, listen, calm down, Shorty, and tell me, what is you talking about?
Yeah, now, listen, I just so handy, and boy, is he mad about you something in my house without no lie. He really gonna beat you up.
Oh, me, and I was allergic to that fighting stuff, too.
Listen, Kingfish, every man who's a man has got to fight sometime. Well, I remember only last month I had an argument with a great big fella. Oh, he weighed 210 pounds. And was I afraid? No. I said to him, meet me down at the gymnasium this afternoon. I'm going to put on the glove. I'll beat you to a pulp. And be down there at 4 o'clock sharp, and I'll knock you from one end of that gym to the other. That's what I said.
Yeah, well, what happened, Shorty?
I don't know. I didn't show up.
Now, wait a minute, Shorty, look here. I think I know how to get out of this mess with Andy. I know where there's a little lot out in the country that I can get for $75. I got it listed right here. Now, look here. I'll give him the lot, and he can move the house on that. And I'll still make a nice profit out of the deal.
$75. That's pretty cheap. This last summer when I was up in the country, I paid $700 for 3 acres.
Yeah, well, you did, huh?
The farmers around there told me it was grazing land or something. They said the grass on there was nourishing and healthy and nutritious. They said it was wonderful grass. I sold the property after 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, well, why'd you sell it, Shorty?
Every time I ate the stuff, it made me sick.